might be quick back because I have a few questions. Percentage kill out in the factory, not taken into account. Is that correct? Percentage.
So that is not correct.
It's taken into account.
It's taken into account.
So the percentage of continental or any other animal is taken into account. Right, that's perfect to know that because a lot of questions on that. In the line of, explain this one because I was looking through some of the stuff. Kielkel Prime Lad, he's in the top 1% age of slaughter. He's a no grade, 293 kilos at 691 days. Then we have a bull that is, he's in the bottom 1%, and he's 100 kilos, he's actually more, 102 kilos more a kilo at 676 days. How would that be?
So
if you're looking at better cattle.
And I don't know if we want to go back over the makeup of the indexes. Right. So bottom line is if we take that particular bull that you're talking about there, and he has been coming up, he is a trait improver in the Angus breed for 7 out of the 10 traits in the terminal index and 13 of the 17 traits in the replacement index, including being top of the breed for calving difficulty, gestation, age at slaughter, carcass conformation, daughter milk and daughter fertility. So Deputy Fitzmaurice, the critical thing there is that if you had a cow that was extremely good on carcass, okay, and maybe lacking on some, and an Angus cow, because that's typically what people are going to do, is you have an Angus cow that's extremely good on carcass, but is maybe lacking on some of the other traits. Well, maybe this bull might have a role to play in that, because he's going to improve the fertility, he's going to improve the age at slaughter, he's going to improve the calving difficulty, he's going to improve the milk. So he is a trait leader on a lot of traits and bad on the carcass traits. And there'll be other bulls on that list as well that will be really good on the carcass traits and poor on the others. And that's the whole idea of a model, and I discussed it in the opening statement.
Tom's choice lexicon was the bull.
I don't have that to hand. Deputy,
the other question I have is, we've got a few phone calls about this. There's a lot of farmers with 15, 16, 18 and 20 cows. They have one bull. They bought the bull in the last year. They have complied with BDGP, they've complied with SCEP. They have ran it to the letter of the law that they need to do. They are now left in a situation where cows were brought down and the bull would have come down to maybe a 2-star, okay? That their next, the heifers off them, and this is an enclosed herd because a lot of these farmers are trying to keep TB out. They are in trouble, every one of them that I've talked to this morning, in coming back up. Would you support us as a committee in going to the department to allow those heifers to be brought into play to comply with the scheme until the end of 2027? Because it's 2027, you talk about 2025, it's a 5-year scheme. So you have to, would you support the farmers or support this committee, and would you do it as well? Because there is, in my opinion, if we keep going down the road we're going down, with people that followed it to the letter of the law from BDGP, SCEP and going along, a lot of them farmers won't comply at the end. I'm talking about at the end what you have to comply with. And I know you will give the figure of 75, but you have cows not going in calf. You'll have some of them older that'll be strippers. You'll have some, one of them will get hurted or whatever. All these problems happen. That's reality in farming. And they will be ending up that they will never comply with another scheme if on the figures they'll have when they're an enclosed herd, when they're tight like that. And the second thing, what do ye say to the breeders? I know a young lad that's in Australia at the moment that put all his money into basically breeding limousine bulls, a young lad in Castlereagh, and he's devastated today because the whole job has turned upside down on him. His bulls are gone from 4 and 5 stars down to 2 stars and 3 stars. And the likes of those people, what's the solution in helping them out? And also, Cemental has got a good rattling. What's the solution in helping those people out? Because ye stated that no farmer would be on a, I've read it, that ye said that no farmer would be financially basically impacted. That was the words ye had used.
Did you know the source of that, Deputy
Oh,
Fitzmaurice?
I'll get it for you. Don't worry, I'll send it to you. But if there is farmers between the suckler side and the breeding side, this is the nub of the issue. How are we going to help them get through this from a bull that could be worth 6,000 today is worth 2,000 now? Might be worth 2, it depends on what they're worth for killing, some of them.
Okay, Michael.
What's your solution?
So, Deputy Fitzmaurice, I think you might have been out because somebody asked a similar question earlier in terms of.
Sorry.
No, that's like the reality is that first of all we're not a lobby organisation, right? So that's the first thing. But having said that, the critical thing, what I said earlier was, I don't think at a personal level, any farmer that has acted in good faith, I don't want to see them negatively impacted. I mean that's as an underlying principle. So I didn't take that as given. In terms of the breeders, I accept that some of the bull breeders are impacted, right? I mean I do think it's important here to also bear in mind that in terms of first of all, in terms of the number of pedigree bulls that are going to skep versus non-skep, if I look at the 2022 figures, about 40% went to skep, 60% went to non-skep. Okay, so.
Whether you're a skep or non-skep, everyone now is looking at the sheet.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Would you agree?
Yeah. Well. Yes, but I would, and I think that's a positive because to me that's actually
it's a
means
negative for the ones that has been reduced.
Yeah, I accept that, but
Look, I think the fact that if you have a bunch of pedigree bulls to sell and their star rating has gone down, their commercial value has dropped.
Great.
Look, I accept that. I accept that. But again, I think go back to what I was saying there to Senator Dolan earlier is that there are two parties in a transaction, and part of what the role of ICBF is to provide independent information, right? And you know, there's a seller of that bull, but there's also a buyer of that.
There's two parties in the skep. There's two parties in skep, but an outside party has destroyed them in skep. Do you understand me? With the figures, and it's not any fault of the farmer. That's what I'm trying to say.
And I give my answer on that.
Okay, Deputy Crowe.